getting better.
But there is also something we can put a speaker to that.
I know how. Then when someone wants to speak though.
Yes.
Okay.
So I guess I don't need this one.
You hear me now?
Can you all hear us? Lily says yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But maybe we cannot hear them because it should be set.
Can you, can someone speak? Maria Teresa, say something.
Hi there, everybody, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests.
Oh, every time you have to do that. Okay. Okay. All right, we're ready. Am I recording? I'm recording.
Yes.
Okay. So, fellow Toastmasters, do we have any guests, an honored guest? You're not a guest. Okay. There you are, face in your face. Again, this is always a challenge with our hybrid meetings, but I do think we are getting better and better. We're only 5 minutes after schedule. And for the business section, I have a few things that I have to announce to you all. Number one, I don't know if you realize this, those of you online, those of you present in the room, we received Select Distinguished Club status. And this means that we achieved 7 out of, I think 8 actually, out of the 10 goals that Toastmaster International puts forward to us, which is so many members meeting a certain level in their pathways. It means that we have so many new members. It's really a great success. And therefore we were actually given 50 euros, not even dollars, from Toastmasters International to buy some things. And Rena and I and the executive committee are going to sit down and see. I'm thinking, well, it'll be a surprise, but we're going to talk about what we have in this closet here. And you'll see when we're going to have a Horrigan evening. Also, we qualified, yeah, so it's called Beat the Clock because it's a certain amount of time that you need to get this status. And then Inez, our membership vice president, she actually, because she was the one that signed up 5 members, that we actually received also special status. Would you like to say something about that, how that was? Did you get an email from Toastmasters International or?
Hello, Toastmasters. Honored guests or new members. We will have a special award, and actually it's amazing. In a time of Corona, we have been able to get an amazing growth with Toastmasters, the VIC Toastmasters.
I think they do want to hear.
Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Better, better.
Better? Do I have to stand close to?
Close to this.
I have to stand close to. Okay. In any case, we got an award, and this award is for the club. It's not for me personally, because without your help, we would not really have received this award. Back to you, Miss
Presiding officer. So we're still not sure where to speak, but I think if I yell into my computer, it'll work. And then I look at everybody, but we're progressing, and that's what we're going to continue to do, progress. So I would like to hand over the control of the rest of the meeting. I'll come to you at the end. You spoke last time, or you're Benjamin, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Benjamin. Yes, I'd love you to say a few words about, because this is your second meeting or your third?
Second, well, I was last year.
Yeah, but let's start a new year. This is
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so please go ahead and
Actually,
just yell it to the.
can you hear me well? Yeah, so Benjamin Berto was last time the last meeting guest, and from now on, new member. Very excited to be part of the team, and yeah, ready to take some roles. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Benjamin. We usually clap, but. So our Toastmaster of the day, who is still standing, is Inez. So I would like to hand control of the meeting over to you, Inez, as a Toastmaster, just to explain our program today, and you have the information in front of you. Toastmaster Inez.
Thank you very much. Mr. President, we have a full meeting, and I'm really happy to see that we are really getting better with our technology. Woohoo! Big
Yeah.
clap for
Joint effort,
our
a joint effort.
technicians. Yes. One thing I would like to ask to our online participants, please give a shout in the chat if you cannot hear us, because that's very important, because it's all about communication. We have a full meeting, as you said. We will have 2 speeches from 2 very talented speakers. We will have a full table topic session, and we have also a full team available for the evaluation. And I would like already to go to the general evaluator, Toastmaster Maria Teresa, to present her team. Maria Teresa, I'm handing it over to you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, it's my great pleasure to be your general evaluator. We were supposed to have Ivana originally, but she had a conflict, so I'm stepping in at short notice. I think the first point of order would be for me to introduce the grammarian who will present the word of the day. But since this is Tatiana's premiere as grammarian, I think it might be appropriate for you to say a few words about what your role entails as our grammarian for today's meeting. So I pass over to Tatiana.
Hello, everyone, and I'm glad to explore the role of grammarian today together with you, and to remind all of us, or to say for the first time, the role of grammarian is to introduce the word of the day and track its use throughout the meeting, and point out to the use of good use of language, of English language, or not so good use of English language at the end in my report. And that's it for my function as a grammarian today. And as for the word of the day, I would like to introduce a word which is not maybe so new to all of us, but I saw it for the first time used in another meeting, which I thought would be interesting to share. And the word is a verb. Actually, it's to rally. And I write it here in the chat for everybody to remember that it should be used. The initial meaning of this verb is to come together in order. It's more like in a military sense, in a way. There's also meaning concerning the recovery from related to health or spirits or poise. There's also a meaning which is drive in a rally, but what I've heard and what I wanted to point out for our meeting today is that a meeting rally certain number of participants. So that was a meaning which I never heard of. And I thought it would be interesting to use it because we are speaking at so many meetings and we always have to report on those, and it would be a good synonym for any other word you can use in this regard. Thank you very much, and over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tatiana, in your role as grammarian. So we're rallying around the Toastmaster spirit. We're doing all kinds of incredible things despite COVID. I have pasted, at least for the benefit of our Zoom participants, the meeting agenda in the chat, and Tatiana has pasted the word of the day, to rally. So I can't see him, but I hope he's here. Toastmaster Ishan, are you today's timer? And if so, could you please explain your role and maybe show us the cards?
Hi everyone. So
I think on this side.
no, because this part is not technical, it's a manual work.
Okay.
So hi everyone. Today I'm a timekeeper and I have 3 cards. Thank you. So the red and yellow and green. So for the speech, the times are 6, 5, and 4 minutes. So the 4 minutes, I will show the green card, and for 6 minutes is yeah. So for 6 minutes is green card, and for 4 minutes is red. And these are the cards. Thank you. I give the floor back to the.
Okay, Toastmaster Ihsan, we don't let you go so quickly. Would you also at least explain the time frame for the table topics?
So for table topics, I guess it's a 1 to 2 minutes, and also I will show the 3 cards according to the minutes. Yeah. Okay, yes. So the 2 minutes is red, and 1.30 seconds is yellow, and 1 minute is green for the table topics.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ihsan. We hope nobody's colorblind if you can't differentiate between red, green, and yellow. In any event, we're glad to see you on board for today's meeting. I think at this stage it's time for me to return control back to our Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Ines, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Maria Teresa, Madam General Evaluator. We can start with the actual meeting now. However, I would like to bring, as a Toastmaster of the day, something to your attention. That is, we know there is a code red report which the Secretary General of the United Nations has issued to the world. We are, as Toastmasters, an international group, and he has asked every citizen of this world to pay attention to climate change between now and 2030 up to 2050. So please, fellow Toastmasters, an appeal to you also. From now on, we knew it, but it's code red for humanity. So please try to figure out how we as Toastmasters can make our contribution for the coming years in our own life, in our own Toastmasters meetings, in our work environment, etc. So, with this message, I would like to go now to speaker number 1. That is Toastmaster Suman. Toastmaster Suman will be evaluated by Toastmaster Silla. Apologies, Toastmaster Melanie. And I would like to ask Toastmaster Melanie to give the objectives of her speech in a couple of minutes. Toastmaster Melanie.
Thank you. Just so you all know, this is a very unusual speech. It's only 2 to 3 minutes that Suman will be giving. The purpose of her project, she's doing a project today. She's going to be practicing the skills needed to build a cohesive team and host an event. So this isn't a normal speech, and the purpose is to introduce her team building event to us. And let me give you some more background information. It's important that she shares her plans, and she is to, sorry about this, but it's very unusual. I've never seen this before. Build and work with a small team to design and host a team building event in the Toastmasters Club or outside in her environment. So let's hand the floor back over to the Toastmaster of the day to introduce Suman.
Toastmaster Suman, with her speech, No I in Team. We have a very active and, as I said, a very creative Toastmasters, and I would like to welcome Toastmaster Suman.
Thank you. Yes. Isn't office our day home? don't we spend most of our waking hours amongst our teammates? I personally believe like my team is my day family. Simon Sinek, the famous author and inspirational speaker, shared in one of his speeches that how Navy SEALs choose their teammates. The gist of this talk is that Navy SEALs value performance lower and trust higher. So even if a SEAL, a Navy SEAL, is really good at his skills, however, if he displays low trust, then he will not be chosen. Okay.
You put the mute, Melanie. Put the mute.
You don't have.
Chair.
Okay, yeah. So I'll just repeat because it was very important that Simon Sinek, the inspirational speaker and famous author, says talked in one of his speeches regarding how Navy SEALs choose their teammates. The gist of the talk is that they value performance lower and trust higher. And how is trust built? Since we work together in office environment, the skills that we show are usually performance based, the skills that are required to get the work done. However, when we spend some fun time together, similar to probably Toastmasters or even a coffee and near the coffee machine, so those are the times when you actually build trust among your teammates. So in that ways, team building activities are really essential towards a team having good performance because they trust each other and then they can rely on each other for great, like accomplishing that work. So that ways, I rally on team building activities as a must have for every team. As part of my project Level 5, as Melanie mentioned, I have designed a really exciting team building activity and event where I have planned various games so we get to know each other better. However, I still do not have a team. So friends, fellow Toastmasters, I cordially invite you to sign up to be part of my team where we will get to practice and understand how this process works and prove this theory. So please let me know and contact me and I will share further details. I promise you it's going to be a spectacular event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Schumann. Toastmasters is about having fun and enjoy what you're doing. And you have really understood really what also our mission is. So thank you for this message. And I would like the meeting to use the possibility to give an evaluation to Toastmaster Suman for 1 minute. Can I ask the timer to time 1 minute for this short evaluation, which is being given in addition to the evaluation by Melanie.
The 1 minute's being timed, don't worry. We'll let you know when it's up. Minutes up.
Thank you very much. Hello, Toastmasters. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Karen. Toastmaster Karen is giving a speech from the Presentation Mastery projects, and the title of her speech is Dinner for One? Table for One. Yes, thank you. And before she starts her speech, I would like Toastmaster Silla to give the objectives of the speech of Toastmaster Karen. Toastmaster Silla, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Ines, and congratulations, Karen, on delivering your second speech for the project. Sorry about today. I actually would have loved to join you guys in person, but because of another meeting, I just have to join online. But I really want to say thank you to the club as well for making this happen, that, you know, we can sort of choose whichever way that works best for us. So back to Karen. She has been a member of the club since November 2020. And last time she did her ice-breaking speech, it was in January 2021. But as you all know, like, Karen has also been a really active member. She also has helped to remember there was one table topic session that she chaired very successfully on the Women's Day to celebrate the International Women's Day. And I can't wait to hear more from her. The objective of her speech is actually more about feedback and evaluation. So she is free to choose whatever topic that she wants to present. But the important part is to take the evaluation that she gets this time to improve her speech for next time. And just like Ines, basically the topic of the speech reminds me of this classic in Vienna, Dinner for One. But I'm sure like Karen's speech, Table for One, is much more interesting because she is going to tell us about doing things for the very first time and the awe that it would give you. So with that, Karen, the floor is yours.
It's sec. It's a lot of removing pins.
Okay.
I have to remove. How do I remove her pin?
Toastmaster Karen, you have 5 to 7 minutes for your speech.
Sorry. Okay. You can speak to them.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for the introduction, Sila. When was the last time that you did something for the very first time? How did you feel when you were doing it? Scared, nervous, excited, all of the above? And how did you feel after doing it? Today, I would like to share with you how I decided to do something for the very first time and the lessons I learned from this experience. So some months ago, I was about to be 29 years old, and I realized I have never traveled on my own. Of course, I have traveled from place A to place B, but then at place B, I will have some family or friends waiting for me. And I was about to get a year older without doing these very things that really, to be honest with you, scared me. I was like, have you ever been so afraid of something that you pass all your life running away from it? Because I have. I was terribly afraid of doing things and going places alone. But I was honestly, I was never a fan of doing things on my own. I would always organize trips with friends, with a significant other. And since I remember, I've never liked eating alone either, unless in a restaurant when everyone can see me eating alone. So about this time, 2 months ago, I was alone. All my friends have planned already like their summer holidays because most of them, if not all of them, are in a relationship. I am not. Actually, I have just ended an 8 months relationship by then. And tired of being afraid of this, I decided it was about time to travel on my own. So I decided I was going to travel for the first time of my life alone to somewhere I have never been before. And I decided to go to the beautiful Italian island of Sardinia. I felt really comfortable of going somewhere where I can understand and speak the language and where I know more or less how things work. You may recall from my icebreaker that I lived almost 2 years in Italy, so I felt really comfortable. And I'm usually very organized when it comes to traveling. I like to plan everything, but this time I wanted to try the whole new experience. And I decided I was not going to plan or organize anything. And I just booked my flight and accommodation. But some days before the trip, I felt really excited, of course, but I also felt a little bit nervous. And something very special happened on my birthday that gave me that last push that I needed to get on that plane. So I received a very special gift from an Italian friend of mine. She gave me a book called For 10 Minutes. And this book tells basically the story of this young girl who had apparently all her life figured out. But then from one day to another, her life completely changed. Her husband left her. She lost her job. She found herself completely alone. And when going to therapy, her therapist suggested her to play a little game. She had, like, for the next 30 days, she had to try something new, to try out something new for 10 minutes, just for 10 minutes, but daily. And after this month, she found out so many good things about herself, about her family, about her friends, about her neighborhood. She learned that she could be on her own, and that there were so many things she was good at, but she had never tried them before because she had always someone next to her doing them for her, just as cooking or even driving, etc. Needless to say, I brought this book with me to the trip, and honestly, it was one of the best holidays I've ever had. I have no words to describe the freedom and happiness that comes with traveling alone. I got to wake up whenever I felt to. I ate everything I wanted to. I went on a kayak tour. I went to a hidden beach. I met amazing people. I even went for a run at 11 p.m. and ate a huge panini afterwards under the full moon, feeling the sand in my feet. It was really amazing. It was magical. And one of the most significant things for me was that I reserved a table for one. At the first, it was very difficult, but the more I did it, the easier it became. And on the last night of my trip, the group of people that I went to the kayak tour with invited me to a dinner. It was going to be about 30 people having fresh fish and pasta, and I'm sure it would have been so much fun. But somehow I felt that I wanted to celebrate that night with myself and only with myself. I wanted to celebrate that I have reached that milestone, that I had overcome my fear to travel alone and to eat alone. So I kindly rejected that invitation, and instead I made a reservation. I asked for a table for one in the most beautiful restaurant in front of the beach for my last night there. Traveling alone to faraway lands was only the beginning. This experience opened my eyes to a whole new world of freedom, completeness, and endless possibilities. I learned that I enjoy a lot being with myself, that I can have dinner on my own and not feeling lonely, and that there are kind people everywhere. And now I ask myself why I spent almost 29 years without enjoying this and traveling on my own, wherever and whenever I want. Because honestly, I have never felt more alive, happy, and at peace with myself. After that trip, I felt powerful, I felt unstoppable, and I still feel like that. So there is something scary, but also very exciting in doing some things for the very first time. But this time, I would like to invite you to give yourself the opportunity to try out something new. You don't have to go big and go to the other side of the world traveling for a month. You can start small. You can go to the museum you've always wanted to visit, but you've never had time to. You can go to that new cafe in the district. You could go even to the park next to your district or read that book that has been waiting for you for years in your bookshelf. Just try out something new. You could smile at someone in the street, at some stranger, or order what you would have never ordered at that restaurant. Apply to that dream job and do not be afraid to reserve a table for one. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. What a speech. In overcoming your fears, it seems that numbers are your best friend, perhaps. The table for one. Thank you so much for the courage you shared. And I would like to ask the Toastmasters to give a short evaluation of 1 minute to Karen. And unfortunately, I think we cannot look at the chat, what the evaluations are.
Yes.
We can. Okay. So we have to work then with people in the room here. Thank you. So we have to give it 1 minute. Thank you.
Yeah, but because she's online. Do we put them in the cup together or do we just?
The 1 minute is over. And we will continue this rally with our next session, which is being organized here by Toastmaster Judith. We are very happy to have Judith back with us after a long time. And Judith, the floor is yours, please. Can you? Thank you. I think you can stay. You can stay there. Yes. Okay.
So they see my face.
Karen, if you want to read here, you can.
And I think you go closer. Because of the microphone. Okay.
Yes, we need you at the microphone.
So yeah, thanks for.
You could take your mask off if you want when you speak.
It's
Speaker view. There she is.
So it's me, I'm not a new member.
Yes.
So I didn't see that here. I'm so sorry.
Do you want to keep your mask on?
Yeah, they will keep it on. Okay. But yeah, it's been a while. I haven't been here. I was on holidays, post-vaccine feeling many things. But the last thing I did was going on holidays, and that's the feeling I have now. I'm back at work, but I'm still half on holidays, and that's actually the topic I'd like to talk about, to ask you about. So I think Pinar is there, right?
Pinar is there.
Yes, I am here.
She's there. Okay.
So after listening to Karen's speech, I'm curious about what is the vacation or the holiday that you are the proudest of. Something that you did on holidays that you felt proud of it.
When you start speaking, then you
Can you hear me? So something you did, you went on holidays, something you that you did when you were on your holidays, or type of vacation you had that you're proud of?
Sorry.
It is
Happy
table
Sounds.
topics. It is table topics.
Uh-huh.
So
Sometimes I just saw frozen screen, but if I understand your question correctly, thank you for this chance, by the way. And I would say that whenever I would go far away, maybe holiday, vacation, or business trips, always I felt that it is a great chance to just focus on me. If depends on I'm going to with my family or I'm going to just by myself. Depends on how many people with me. But mostly I like to be far away from my daily task, and it gave me a chance to look something to with fresh mind, especially after return time. Especially return time. It gave me some thrilled example. It's kind of, maybe I can define it, rally time to about some living process, life process, and what I can add more. And also I couldn't see anything right now. I hope someone can hear me. Hello.
We can hear you perfectly. Please
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I think every chance to go far away independently, it is a great chance to think something for anything. Okay, thank you again, and thank you, Karen, your inspiring speech.
Thank you, Pinar. I have another question related to holidays to our new member, Benjamin. Yes. So I don't know if you've seen the series Black Mirror.
Yes.
There's an episode where there are two ladies that are old in a hospital, and they are connected to a life they could have had, but they are. Have you seen that episode? No. Okay. So the thing is that they are connected. They are in hospitals. The body is there, but the mind is still alive. The body is old, but they can be connected in a parallel. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like dimension.
Related to each other.
Yes. So they can have a life together, even if they are like their bodies are not aligned 100%. So how do you imagine holidays in the future? Do you think something like this could happen, that we can be somewhere, our bodies can be somewhere, but we could be on holidays with somebody else who is physically somewhere else?
You can be with your husband and then your lover. Okay, so that's not on tape. That's not on tape. Benjamin, come forward so everyone can hear you. You all didn't hear that, did you? Okay. Can you see Benjamin?
Yes, now you can.
Okay, we muted you all. The thumbs up is great. So Benjamin's going to speak now. And then you can see the time here.
First of all, thank you very much for this question. I'm very interested into this because I just came back from Paris yesterday with a 12 hours train overnight. So if I could stay with my body in Austria and be with my family in France, that would be a very nice teleporting thing. But I wish this would not happen, because all the moments we are living physically with people are the best. And I'm not sure that the machine that would take you from one place to another would allow you to feel all what you can feel with the family. I'm just going to take the example I had now. I came back from a sailing trip with all my family and parents, and yeah, we were feeling the wind, the waves, and it was very stormy. And I wish I could still do that, maybe not with a 12-hour train, but something more efficient than that. And thank you very much.
Try flying next time. So thank you. I was my idea was also of like feeling the same as you in reality. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future. Also, that would help us to reduce the CO2 emissions and contribute to avoid climate change. So the next question goes to Tatiana. And it's how would you plan your best holiday, and where would you go, and with whom would you go? It doesn't matter, you can choose wherever and with whoever you want. It can be somebody that you don't know, somebody that is that has passed away, anybody. And from other times, you can also travel to other times with different people that you don't know from different areas. So what would you do?
Thank you for giving an opportunity to speak on that subject. And the more you give me the options, the more I see the pictures in my head for those options to be realized. Because traveling is a passion I have, and I always try to use an opportunity to go somewhere, even if it's just outside or to a new place or to a new park in the city, or I wouldn't say better, but still very encouraging to go somewhere where I haven't been before, or even come to the places which I've been to. And to answer your question, I would rather choose and stick to the very first answer I had in my head, which is to go with family of my friends and my family to the cruise of 1 week in the Nordic Sea, North Sea, which would allow me to see many countries and many places at the same time, traveling by boat, by a ship, using the evenings for gatherings together, and going to the new places every day to explore that part of the world which I haven't been to exposed to that much as I would have liked to. And that would be a nice plan to try what it is to use that kind of travel and to get to know my friends and my family in that conditions even better. Still, thank you for giving that perspective of traveling in time. I would have rather also do it, but I would save this topic for the next intervention. Over to you.
Being present and with family, it's always the best option, I would say. So the last question is for you. Karen was mentioning in her speech that she was traveling alone. She went to Italy. Italy is a safe country, I would say. But what would you say to people, or what do you think about the people that say that you will, as a woman, you cannot travel to other places that are dangerous? Would you travel? What do you tell also to these people? Let's say you're right, or maybe a step closer. Yeah, I see. Okay. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Everyone? I think so. Okay. Thank you for this very good question. Actually, it's a good point. When you say from the country's perspective, we kind of tend to always check this security side. And for all my trips, the same. I would always check, okay, which areas are kind of considered safe or so on. But
I was just recently thinking of one friend who was just traveling, but now we split this time before Corona and after Corona. But before Corona, let's say, she was traveling to actually India to some yoga retreat, and she was traveling alone. And at that time, that was maybe 5 years ago, I was thinking, oh, this I wouldn't do it by myself, to travel to India to some yoga retreat, to meet some unknown people. But actually, when she came back and she told such an inspiring story like Karen delivered in her speech, I was then starting to think, but maybe it's a good idea. Of course, we always have to be careful, but I think it's always good to explore and not to be biased about some countries, but actually to explore all the countries. Thank you.
So that was all from my side. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you have already enjoyed holidays or are about to.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Judith. A big applause. The table topics master, who really pulled out of us our passion for traveling, adventure, and much more. I would like to ask you now to, for the ballot counter, to vote for the best table topics or the table topics or the presentation you found, which was closer to what you really like also to communicate or to see. I need 1 minute.
Yeah, so just real quick, it says here Pinar is the ballot counter and she's online. So send your ballots to Pinar if you are in your own home, and I'll collect them here and send to Pinar as well, who the winner from our side is. So everyone can give to me in the room, and the rest of you online, please send to Pinar privately.
Perfect logistics.
You want to remind who was who, how many?
Yeah. For your to remind you, we had the first table topic speaker was Pinar, Toastmaster Benjamin, Toastmaster Tatiana, and Toastmaster Alma. Did I? No. This, yeah. Okay. So please fill in your ballots, and anybody else who needs to
You'll give your ballots to me, and then I'll write to the ballot counter, who's Pinar. Yeah, 1 minute.
1 minute. And
then Pinar will get a private message.
Fine.
Grazie.
Fellow Toastmasters. I would like to ask now the general evaluator, Toastmaster Maria Teresa, you will see her, yes, to please chair the session on the evaluation. Toastmaster Maria Teresa.
Oh shit, everyone's going to see.
The meeting is yours.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. Most people think Toastmasters teaches you to be a better speaker. It does, but I think Toastmasters also teaches you to be a better listener. And I think that's a quality that's missing in today's world. As evaluators, I find you're particularly listening. Your ears are like this. You are more attentive. You are thinking on a different level. So now we get a chance to put these skills to practice. The very first thing I would like to ask is for the evaluator for the prepared speech to give us her evaluation. And that happens to be Toastmaster Melanie. Melanie, the word is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Maria Teresa, our Toastmaster of the, no, you're our general evaluator. I have to tell you, this is very stressful. I'm addressing you. Can we please go back to all in person? Get your butts in here. I will pick you up at the gate. But setting up a meeting and knowing where to look and the sound quality, It's challenging. And like we said, this is a progression and it's a new way of doing meetings, but I think one or the other. What do you think? All online or all present? You guys, you know you can get in here. Where Teresa. I get claps from the background. My evaluation of Suman. Suman, this was not a normal speech. As you all know, she was doing an introduction of a team building event. So she only had 2 to 3 minutes to explain to us what this event is that she's planning. And I like the way she started. She explained a background. She talked about the Navy SEALs and building trust. And what's important is that she let us know it's going to be fun. You know, come on, get involved. She wanted to spark our interest. And that's the whole thing, is how do you get people involved in something? I'm constantly telling even some of the interns that I work with out in Cybersworth that, hey, come and join Toastmasters. It'll help you. I was doing something really funny today. I was looking back at the last year of all of our Toastmaster, we saved them on YouTube. I don't know if you knew that, but you can look at every speech and the dynamics in the room. And it's really interesting how we all progress. Even myself, I used to talk so much. And I don't think I talk as much, but I don't know. You could tell me this. So the point is that when Suman gave this, she was right to the point. She said, I don't have a team yet. She was honest. And she said, so please sign up to contact her. She used vocal variety. She used her hands. I saw her using her hands. I'm looking at you all. She used her hands. And she was able to even tell us in the room, hey, mute yourselves because I'm hearing you and I want to hear myself. So I like the fact, Suman, that you weren't afraid to tell us in the room what to do. You know, we have the control of the camera. And I'm really excited. I volunteer myself to be a part of this team building activity that you're doing. I know a bit about the Navy SEALs. Of course, I don't have any family members that are military. But let's see what happens. As far as other things I have to look at with you to challenge yourself, what you may want to work on. Again, it's just this Zoom environment that makes it challenging to really focus on you because we don't know whether to look at I have a computer in front of me. So really do that again. Grab our attention. Tell us, you know, turn off your mics, everyone. Don't be afraid to be, you know, a kind of a bossy boots. Just tell us to listen and grab our attention because that's what you want to do with an audience. You want to get people involved. You want us to join this effort that you're going to have a team building exercise. Give us more. Say, I really need your support if it's going to work. Do I have any volunteers right now? You know, don't be afraid to tell us right now to sign up. So you got me. I'm one of your recruits. Other than that, comfort level. You seem always very comfortable when you speak. And eye contact was on, gestures perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving the speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Melanie. The next point on the agenda is for Scylla to evaluate the prepared speech of Toastmaster. Now, who was it? Toastmaster
Karen.
Karen. Okay, I don't have the agenda. Irina, I miss having your printed agenda in front of me. It's not quite so easy. In any event, I welcome Scylla to give the evaluation of the speech. Toastmaster Scylla.
Thank you, Maria Teresa. And before I give my evaluation, I just want to ask if Isan, he can, because I don't seem to be able to see the card for the timer from here. I don't know if he can. Where is Isan sitting? Yes, okay, yeah, thanks. Just want to make sure I don't speak too much. So, but congratulations, Karen, and thank you so much for sharing us, you know, your travel experience on this. It's particularly touching our heart, I think, because you reminds us the importance of sort of trying new things and stepping out of our comfort zone. And I think during this this challenging time is particularly important because every small thing, you know, is actually can bring us a lot of joy and also inspiration. So thank you for picking such an inspirational topic. And my evaluation, I would like to first focus on the content part and then a little bit of the delivery. And then of course, like some points for suggestions. So the content, I think in terms of the structure of the speech, you have a very, very strong opening. Because of the contrast You talk about your fear, you know, how you always wants to do things together with some people, but then, you know, this time you want to do something different, which is completely different. You will have to do something on your own and travel. So that big contrast, it grabs the attention of the audience immediately. And also you really open up yourself. I think one of the biggest asset for you as a speaker is you have this power of being very genuine and sincere. So I think that is a personal trait that makes you really strong, stands really strong as a speaker, and that makes people want to listen more. Also, we somehow by now, I think we all know that you are someone who likes to read a lot, because most of the time you talk about books, ideas that you get from books. So that transition is also really nice, that you get the idea from the books and how you want to, you know, put it into practice, like all your sharing, that really sort of like captivates people and carry your audience with you, that they want to follow you. So I think it's a very good choice of the topic. You have a sincere, you know, sharing, and then you close it up with a call for action. You know, why don't we all try to do something different, try to do something new, even if it's something small. So the flow is very, very smooth, and that is really good. One thing that I might want to challenge you to share a little bit more is that transition. How you experience it from your fear to really enjoy being completely on your own. You know, like what was it that the aha moment that, you know, that really like, you know, that makes that difference. And I guess as an audience, like we would love to hear more like how that transition happened. So that's the details that I would love to hear more. And I think in terms of delivery, you have a really good voice, like a very good pace, very natural. So people just feel like they want to listen more. But maybe because if it is a hybrid meeting, your posture, eye contact, I think, you know, that part you might want to work a little bit more, because I think the online audience, we didn't get to see you as much as we want. So maybe that part is something that you need to, I know it's very challenging. Last time when I was in the room, I was only talking to the computer, but paying no attention to the people in the room. So this part is challenging, but the fact that it's a hybrid meeting, we would appreciate that. So yes, so I think is in general a very nice speech. You're very genuine, sincere, pick a topic that really speaks to our heart. But I would challenge you to tell us a little bit more of the details of the transition in terms of the content and in terms of delivery, focusing a bit also on the eye contact. But overall, really good. And thank you so much for sharing your very interesting experience.
Thank you, Toastmaster Silla. You picked up on some excellent points. In any event, let's move ahead to the next series of reports. The first person I'd like to ask for our report on timing is Toastmaster Aishan. How did we do with the time?
He's coming.
So, fellow Toastmasters, did you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. So, about the timing, about the speech, the first speech was about 3 minutes, and the maximum speech was 2 minutes 55 seconds. And we had 2 evaluations for 1 minute. And then Karen, she finished her speech on time, 6 minutes 54 seconds. And then for the table topics, we had the maximum of speech for Pinar, but I think this was a technical issue she had. And it was 2 minutes 2 seconds. And the minimum speech was for Benjamin for 1 minute 3 seconds. Tatiana had 1 minute 55 seconds. And Alma, she had 1 minute 37 seconds. And the 2 evaluation was from Melanie for 3 minutes and Sila for 3 minutes 23 seconds. I give the floor back to Madam Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Aishan, as today's timer. The next report will be given by our grammarian for today's meeting, who just happens to be Toastmaster Tatiana. Toastmaster Tatiana, what did you pick up on with our grammar and its usage? Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't hear many of mistakes which I could point out. Maybe there was a sound issue from time to time. For example, there was a phrase doing things from my own, which should be obviously on my own. Then there was a wrong usage of the plural versus singular verbs. There were so many things, and that I've heard that there was so many things. We also had a phrase, look at something with your eyes, and the verb with was missing in, I think it was in Spinar's speech. I would say that's it for the maybe wrong usage or what I've heard to be wrong. I liked how Sila put it with aha moment for discovering interesting points in someone's speech. So here is an exemplary way of using English. And with our distinguished general evaluator, we had the phrase which I use now from now on, which is the word is yours, while I'm usually using the transitions phrase, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tatiana. And now we get to hear how many times we said and ah and hesitated and somehow made our speech not quite as good as it should be. So Rena, it's your turn to report on the use of the ahs.
Fellow Toastmasters, I listened very carefully, and it is very interesting when you hear very carefully. It says many people, I can tell you, Karen, Judith, and Benjamin, and Tatiana, they use a lot of and then very often. So it is okay. That is one thing I noticed a lot. So Melanie, I counted for you 6. Ines 3, Maria Teresa nothing, Esan just 7 times, Suman Rathod 3 times, Silla also and 7 times. Karen, you are always and just so that is about 10-13 times. You did 14 times, Pinar 8 times, Benjamin especially and so 7 times. Tatiana and 10, 12 times. Alma 4 times. For others, it's just but for others and M. I'm sorry.
Please stop. Please stop. This club would have a lot of money right now.
Yeah, Toastmaster Rena, thank you for your detailed report of the ums and the ahs. And Melanie made an interesting point. Ordinarily, there's a penalty for making an ah. Well, you can't collect it from the people who attended via Zoom unless we do electronic banking. In any event, I think this meeting has been a success. So now it comes from my overall impressions. We got started a little bit late. I must confess, I still think we should maintain, as Scylla said, hybrid possibilities for people who either want to attend via Zoom or come into the meeting in person. The only problem with this is I do feel a little bit disconnected. I'd like to suggest in the future, if we have a hybrid meeting, that the people in the room introduce themselves, that we actually get an idea of who is really there. The people on Zoom have indicated their role in the meeting, which I also think is important. But again, I'd like to stress that we should all know who is doing what and who is actually there. Other impressions, again, this total disconnected feeling. There were so many opportunities where I had difficulties hearing what was going on. And again, this is probably just going to be a question of time for us to improve who we see, when we see them, and the quality of the sound. Again, this is a learning experience for all of us, but I think we've been doing very well up to now. Toastmaster Aishan, it's great to see you, but don't start off by saying, hi, everybody. You have to return the control, or you have to basically address fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests. Although I found a hi, everybody on one level very refreshing. Everybody, please watch your transitions. It's supposed to be a smooth movement from one section of the meeting to the other. And again, I heard so many thank yous today. And I know table topic speakers, when you say, thank you for the question, I know in reality, you're just planning for a little bit of time, right? I'm afraid I could not offer my individual evaluation to Karen, but I was so impressed with your speech. Again, the problem was not being able to see your face. Your gestures were brilliant. Your voice was very strong. The content of your speech was good. It was very fluid. So I have to give you at least my evaluation here. I already see you making great progress in this club. What else did I pick up on? Well, actually, I think just about the tail end of my general evaluation. So I return control of the meeting to our very capable Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ines.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Thank you for your amazing contributions, as usual. Fellow Toastmasters, we're coming now slowly to an end of the meeting. And I wanted to say something which was really on my tongue, and that was to say hello to Anna. I'm so happy that she was in this meeting today, all from Bratislava. Thank you, Anna. And it would have been nice to also have heard more from you. As Maria Teresa said, we are really getting into somehow a new meeting culture with the hybrid meetings. Things have changed, but I think the work is really needed for a hybrid meeting. It's teamwork, it's understanding, it is patience. There were a couple of boo-boos which were happening along the way, but all in all, really, thank you. You all together, we all together made this meeting a success, as Maria Teresa said. Thank you for the patience once more, and for you all from this end, and also to you and to all our Toastmasters here, a big applause for everybody and for those that have set up the meeting. And with that, I would like to ask the president to take over, to take the word.
Before I take the control of the meeting back, I'm just going to stay in my seat and ask if Pinar can tell us, because I sent her our side, can you tell us, Pinar, who actually won table topics today?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, dear Toastmaster, and thank you for your effort. Additionally, today the winner is the winner of the table topic speech is the Benjamin. Congratulations, Benjamin.
So I'm going to come around now so you all can see me at home. Thank you. Maria Teresa, I know you wanted me to make sure everyone in the room introduces themselves. So you saw that I'm here, Maria Teresa, because Maria Teresa is our Vice President of Education. So she puts in the meeting, making sure that you were here if you didn't accept online. As you know, and you can all say your names.
I'm also here, Esa.
Yeah. And Ez is here, and then I'll start over here, Alma.
Alma.
Judy here.
Yes.
Rina, Benjamin.
Benjamin here.
Jessica's here. Karen. And of course, Karen. And we see you all online. So before we close, it's very traditional that we ask our guests, but now that Benjamin's been here in 2020 and 2021, and I think this is the second meeting you've been to in 21, I would really hope that Inez and you connect and that you would join us, because we could really use So young, fresh energy, we have a lot of young, fresh energy, we do. But I know myself that it just gets challenging to get more members each year because, you know, a lot of people have obligations. So let us know what you think about the meeting today. What do you think of this hybrid, and if you'll join us again?
Yeah, definitely. We were actually yesterday in contact with Ines and then just fill out the form and do the bank transfer. And no, very happy because last time I was a bit lost with this hybrid meeting and I didn't know exactly how all of that was working. But today it was very clear and yeah, I'm happy to see that the aim of the meeting is to be as smooth as possible so we can transition between everyone and we'll work on that. And I'm happy that you gave me the chance to speak.
And
The funny thing is I always. And look what I have for Benjamin, everyone online. Benjamin will receive today best table topics. So of course, we will continue the hybrid as long as possible. I think maybe we just have to work on the camera because I'm thinking if the camera's here and you all can see me, I should just stand at the end of the table and you all should look that way. So, because I don't want to put my back to them and at the same time, I'm looking at a monitor. I'm not really looking at that camera there. So we're going to work on it. And I've got a lot of backup to help me. So
Maria Teresa wants to say something.
Maria Teresa, please, your hand is up.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. She left too quickly, but I was just going to ask Tatiana if she had decided on who awarding the grammarian's crown to. Had it been me, I would have given it to Stella for the aha moment. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. In any event, I'll call her and get that. And then the second thing I wanted to mention is who is today's Zoom master? Was it you, Melanie?
Yes, I started us out.
Okay, I think each and every person in this room, and Zoom, and in the room should give a big round of applause to Melanie, who's done triple duty. She's been Zoom master, presiding officer, and an evaluator. A big round of applause for Melanie.
We're fine.
So back to you, Madam President.
We are going to close for today. I'm really glad you all came in person. I know it's very challenging.
Someone wants to come in.
Admitting to the meeting?
Oh, it's a Prince M.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to come into our meeting before we end. We're going to see who it is. So now we have to move over and see who actually came in. So remove the pin on me. You remove the pin on me.
So we have royalty attending. We have a prince.
Why M though?
No.
Melanie, as we wait for this person to join us, can I make two more comments? I would like to thank Judith for your table topics. They were refreshing. They were totally topical, at least with this being the holiday season. And also a big thank you to everybody who signed up on Easy Speak. I really appreciate it as your Vice President for Education, that we have an idea of who's coming and who's doing what. So who is a royal hug? Bring it on, bring it on.
Somebody's using us.
This is the stress. I have I just yeah.
Your Royal Highness.
Please turn your camera on.
It's yours. Tristan. Tristan or somebody.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not. Add a pin. Hi there. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My Royal Highness, you called me it. My name is Prince. I can't help it. Blame my mother for it. She's dead. Go and speak to her.
You're very mysterious, my Royal Highness, the Prince. May I ask how you found out about this meeting?
Via something called Easy Speak, if I'm not mistaken. I thought you referred to it earlier on.
Yeah, but I don't, okay, all right. Are you our Toastmaster in another club?
Yeah, in a few other clubs.
Okay, would you maybe send me in the chat your name and your email address?
That is my name. I can't help it. Prince is my name.
All right, we will address you at least the way you have indicated. Could you send me your email address, please?
Why?
In the chat.
Why do you have to be so skeptical and so?
Because I'm
questioning?
supposed to record the people that come to our meeting, that we keep track of who's coming on.
Well, I'll put myself on your, because I am the admin of District 59. I'll put myself on your club as a guest. Is that okay?
I don't think you can do that. I think I have to do that.
Well, you can find me with this name in that case.
Is that your user ID in EasySpeak?
That's right. You can go there with that. Right.
Okay, and on that note, we're going to have to close today because we only have the room until 1:30. So we'll
Good on
see you
ya.
all in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Join us.
Okay.
Thank you.